All the votes are in and it's unanimous.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark was voted WNBA Rookie of the Year. Surprise, surprise. Put up the stats that the league had never seen before. She broke the single season record with 337 assists, including a league record 19 in one game.
You got me down again.
Imagine the fierce competitiveness of two rising stars reaching its boiling point as Caitlin Clark is declared the unanimous WNBA Rookie of the Year, causing Angel Reese to throw shade at her victory.
It's a basketball play. I can't control the refs. They affected the game obviously a lot tonight. And a lot of calls that weren't made. I guess some people got a special whistle.
Fans and analysts are taking sides. Was Clark's unanimous win justified, or does Reese have a point? Let's dive into this explosive rivalry and the tension surrounding it, breaking down how these two elite athletes are pushing the limits of competition and controversy in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year season has been nothing short of groundbreaking. She not only dominated in her debut, but also shattered records along the way. Clark became the first rookie in WNBA history to record multiple triple-doubles in a season and set records for most three-pointers made by a rookie, 122, and most assists in a rookie season, 337. Clark also led the league in assists per game with 8.4, a testament to her remarkable court vision and playmaking ability. Her achievements have made her the face of the Indiana Fever's resurgence, helping the team secure its first playoff appearance since 2016. But it wasn't just individual success. Clark's contributions lifted her team to new heights. The Fever saw a spike in home attendance, largely credited to her star power and impact on the court. Fans flocked to see her in action, and her presence revitalized a franchise that had struggled in recent years. On the other side of the rivalry, Angel Reese has been vocal about her discontent with Clark's Rookie of the Year win. Reese, who had her own impressive rookie campaign, was a key part of LSU's national title run in college, but has found the transition to the WNBA more challenging. While Reese has gained attention for her intensity and play style, she hasn't had the same record-breaking season as Clark. Reese has openly expressed frustration, claiming that the media and fans have overly hyped Clark and downplayed her own accomplishments. She even hinted at her discontent in interviews, noting how difficult it's been to adjust to more frequent losses in the WNBA compared to her collegiate career.
For me and Camilla, this is the most we've ever lost in our life. I only lost 7 games in my last 2 years at LSU. So it's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
What makes this rivalry even more intriguing is the history between the two players. Their clash dates back to the 2023 NCAA Finals, when Reese famously mocked Clark with a "you can't see me" gesture after LSU's victory over Iowa. This moment ignited a media firestorm and further fueled the narrative of Reese versus Clark. As the two entered the WNBA, their rivalry has only intensified. Fans and analysts have been quick to draw comparisons, and the debate over who is the better player continues to rage on. Clark's unanimous Rookie of the Year win has become the latest flashpoint in this ongoing feud. What's clear is that the rivalry between Reese and Clark is doing wonders for the WNBA. It's bringing in new viewers, sparking passionate discussions, and creating a buzz that women's basketball hasn't seen in years. Social media has been ablaze with fans taking sides, and the league is benefiting from the increased attention. While Clark may have secured Rookie of the Year, many believe she also deserved to be in the conversation for MVP. Her value to the Fever is undeniable. She transformed a struggling team into a playoff contender in her very first season. Comparisons to NBA legends like LeBron James and Michael Jordan are not unwarranted, as Clark's ability to lead, score, and create for her teammates is already at an elite level. Clark's 769 points this season shattered the rookie scoring record and even eclipsed her teammate Kelsey Mitchell's franchise record. The Fever's offensive system revolves around Clark's ability to create opportunities, whether it's through her deep shooting or her remarkable passing. Analysts have pointed out that Clark's overall contribution to the league goes beyond just stats. She's becoming a symbol of what the future of the WNBA can be. An exciting, fast-paced game that brings in larger crowds and elevates women's sports to new heights. While Reese may be frustrated, her presence in this rivalry shouldn't be overlooked. As fierce competitors, both Reese and Clark have a unique opportunity to push each other to new levels of greatness. Reese has taken on the role of the challenger, determined to prove that she deserves just as much recognition as Clark. However, some critics have pointed out that Reese's defensive game has its flaws, and her struggles in adapting to the WNBA's pace and level of competition may explain why Clark's unanimous win wasn't much of a surprise to those closely following the league. Despite this, Reese has the talent and drive to bounce back, and fans are eager to see how she'll respond next season. Could this rivalry fuel her to take her game to the next level and potentially challenge Clark for future awards? Beyond the rivalry, Clark and Reese's impact on the WNBA cannot be overstated. The league is experiencing a renaissance thanks to these two young stars, and their battles on the court are drawing in new fans. The attention surrounding them is helping to elevate the entire league, sparking debates about marketing, fairness, and how the WNBA should promote its players. As Clark continues to set records and Reese looks to prove herself, the future of women's basketball looks brighter than ever. This rivalry has the potential to be one of the defining stories in WNBA history, and we're only in the early stages. In the end, Caitlin Clark's unanimous Rookie of the Year win has reignited her rivalry with Angel Reese, but it's also brought attention to the growing influence of both players in the WNBA. Clark's historic rookie season has set a new standard for what's possible, and Reese's competitive fire ensures that this battle is far from over. What's clear is that this isn't just about awards, it's about legacy, growth, and the future of the WNBA.
Angel's tremendous player. I have nothing but respect for her. I love her game. The way she rebounds the ball, scores the ball is absolutely incredible.
In sports, rivalries are what legends are made of. But when two of the biggest stars in women's basketball collide, it's more than just a game. It's a cultural moment. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have turned the basketball court into a stage where respect, rivalry, and raw emotion play out in real time. Today, we're diving into the story behind their explosive encounters, the double standards in sports, and how this rivalry is redefining women's basketball. The rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese isn't just a clash of two talented athletes, it's a narrative that has captivated millions, bringing attention to women's basketball like never before. Their story reached a fever pitch during the 2023 NCAA National Championship game, a game that would become a defining moment not just for the players, but for the sport itself. As the game unfolded, LSU was on a mission, and Angel Reese was leading the charge. The Tigers were on the brink of claiming their first national title, and with each passing minute, the tension escalated. But what truly set this game apart was what happened in the final moments. With victory all but secured, Angel Reese turned to Caitlin Clark and made a gesture that would be replayed and debated endlessly. A "you can't see me" hand wave, followed by pointing to her ring finger, signifying the championship ring she was about to win. This taunting gesture quickly became iconic, symbolizing the fierce competitiveness that defines both Reese and Clark. However, it also sparked a heated debate about sportsmanship. Critics were quick to label Reese's actions as unsportsmanlike, while others saw it as a natural part of the competitive spirit.
My issue with Reese is that she followed Caitlin Clark around the floor. The game was over. Caitlin Clark is walking off, and Reese is trying to catch up to her to wave in her face and point at her finger. And do you feel better about yourself now?
But then Caitlin Clark did something unexpected. She defended her rival.
I don't think Angel should be criticized at all. No matter which way it goes, she should never be criticized for what she did. I'm just one that competes, and she competed. So I think everybody knew there was going to be a little trash talk in the entire tournament.
Clark's defense of Reese was a powerful statement, one that underscored the mutual respect between these two athletes, despite the heated moments on the court. But Clark didn't stop there. She also addressed a broader issue that has long plagued women's sports: the double standard in how emotional expression and trash talk are perceived. Clark pointed out that while trash talk has always been a part of men's basketball, it's often criticized or downplayed in the women's game.
I think men have always had trash talk. That's what it's been. And I think more and more people, as they turn on the game, they're appreciating it for what it is.
Clark's comments highlighted a significant cultural shift. As women's basketball continues to grow in popularity, with more eyes on the game than ever before, the acceptance of competitive banter and emotional expression is becoming more normalized. Clark herself embodies this change, as she's known for wearing her emotions on her sleeve and competing with intensity.
I'm just lucky enough that I get to play this game and have emotion and wear it on my sleeves, and so does everybody else. So that should never be torn down. That should never, be criticized, because I believe that's what makes this game so fun. That's what draws people to this game.
She explained. This conversation around the double standard in trash talk and emotional expression is crucial, not just for Clark and Reese, but for all women athletes. It challenges the outdated notion that women should compete in a certain way, quietly, respectfully, and without the bravado often celebrated in men's sports. Clark and Reese are redefining what it means to be a competitive female athlete, showing that intensity, passion, and yes, even trash talk have a place in women's basketball. The 2023 NCAA Championship wasn't just a game, it was a cultural moment. With an average of 9.9 million viewers and a peak at 12.6 million, the game drew unprecedented attention, solidifying the growing popularity of women's basketball. The rivalry between Clark and Reese, combined with the dramatic moments on the court, played a significant role in this viewership spike, making it a landmark event in sports history. But this story didn't end with the final buzzer of that championship game. The rivalry between Clark and Reese carried over into the 2024 NCAA tournament, where the two faced off again in the Elite Eight. This time it was Clark's Iowa team that came out on top, defeating Reese's LSU in a highly anticipated rematch. The competitive spirit was on full display, with both players showcasing their incredible skills and determination. And as they transitioned into the WNBA, the rivalry only intensified. In June 2024, Clark and Reese met on the professional stage, with Reese now playing for the Chicago Sky and Clark for the Indiana Fever. The game was close, with the Sky narrowly defeating the Fever, but it wasn't just the scoreline that had people talking. It was the moments of tension and intensity, like when Reese clapped after a foul on Clark, reminding everyone that this rivalry was far from over. Despite the on-court drama, both Clark and Reese have consistently emphasized that their rivalry is purely competitive. Off the court, they share a mutual respect that transcends the game.
Angel's tremendous player. I have nothing but respect for her. I love her game. The way she rebounds the ball, scores the ball is absolutely incredible.
Clark said, praising Reese's ability to dominate the boards and score at will. This respect is a crucial part of what makes their rivalry so compelling. It's not about hatred or animosity. It's about two athletes pushing each other to be better, challenging each other on the biggest stages, and in the process, bringing more attention to the sport they love. As we look ahead, the future of this rivalry is bright. With more WNBA matchups to come and the possibility of future NCAA encounters, the story of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is far from finished. Their rivalry is more than just a headline. It's a testament to the evolution of women's basketball, the breaking down of gender stereotypes, and the celebration of competitive spirit in its purest form. So, what's next for Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese? Will their rivalry continue to define women's basketball, or will new stars emerge to challenge their dominance? One thing's for sure, this is a story that's still being written, and we're all on the edge of our seats waiting to see what happens next. Stay tuned, because the next chapter in this rivalry is bound to be just as explosive as the last. Imagine a basketball player so dominant, she makes seasoned pros look like rookies. Now picture her as an actual rookie, taking the WNBA by storm. That's Angel Reese for you. She's not just good, she's rewriting the rulebook. And sorry, Caitlin Clark fans, but the 2024 Rookie of the Year award, it's already got Reese's name on it. Let's break it down. Angel Reese isn't just another talented player. She's a force of nature on the court. Standing at 6'3", she's got the height, but it's her incredible wingspan that sets her apart. When Reese stretches out those arms, it's like she's covering half the court. Defenders? They might as well be trying to score against a brick wall. But height alone doesn't make a great player. It's what Reese does with it that counts. Her rebounding skills are off the charts. She doesn't just grab rebounds, she hunts them down like they're the last piece of pizza at a party. And once she's got the ball, good luck getting it back. Now let's talk about her scoring. Reese isn't just a one-trick pony. She can score from anywhere on the court. In the paint, she's unstoppable. Her post moves are smoother than a fresh jar of Skippy. But step outside and she'll still make you pay. Her mid-range game is developing faster than a Polaroid picture, and she's not afraid to let it fly from beyond the arc. What really sets Reese apart, though, is her mind. She's got basketball IQ coming out of her ears. She sees plays developing before they happen. It's like she's got a crystal ball hidden in that basketball. And her decision-making? Faster than a New York minute. But while Reese is dominating, she's not doing it in a vacuum. The 2024 WNBA season has been marked by an intense rivalry, one that has roots going back to their college days. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark have been competing at the highest levels for years. And now, as they both vie for the Rookie of the Year award, their rivalry has only intensified. This isn't just about stats, it's a rematch for the ages. Caitlin Clark, the #1 overall pick by the Indiana Fever, is currently leading the Rookie of the Year race. Averaging 16.7 points, 7.8 assists, and 5.9 rebounds per game, Clark has proven herself as a scoring and playmaking machine. She made history as the first rookie to record a triple-double in the WNBA, and her high-pressure performances have kept the Fever in the playoff hunt. But Angel Reese isn't just sitting back. Selected 7th by the Chicago Sky, Reese is having a standout season of her own, averaging 13.8 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 1.6 steals per game. Recently, she set a WNBA record with 13 consecutive double-doubles, underscoring her dominance in rebounding and her overall impact on the game. What makes her performance even more impressive is that she's doing all of this with less star power around her compared to Clark, who has multiple former #1 picks on her team. So, what makes Angel Reese the superior candidate for Rookie of the Year? It's her relentless rebounding, her impact on team success, and her defensive prowess. Reese leads the league in rebounds, averaging 11.8 per game, making her a game changer every time she steps on the court. In a league where possessions often dictate the outcome of games, Reese's ability to dominate the boards is critical. Her rebounding isn't just about numbers, it's about securing possessions that can swing the momentum in her team's favor. Despite being on a team with fewer high-profile players, Reese's contributions have helped the Sky maintain a competitive position in the playoff race. Her influence goes beyond her stats. She's the heart of the Sky's defense and a key player in their offensive sets. Some analysts argue that this should weigh heavily in the Rookie of the Year considerations. After all, isn't the true measure of a player's value how they elevate those around them? Reese isn't just a force on the boards, she's also one of the best on-ball defenders in the league. Her defensive prowess is often overlooked in favor of flashier stats. But make no mistake, Reese changes the game on both ends of the court. Whether it's locking down an opponent or coming up with a crucial steal, her defense is as vital to the Sky's success as her rebounding. Her record-setting double-double streak is more than just a stat, it's a legacy in the making. If she continues at this pace, she could finish the season with one of the highest rebounding averages in WNBA history. Her consistency in dominating the paint game after game places her among the elite in the league, making a strong case for why she deserves the Rookie of the Year title. In today's WNBA, you can't just be a one-position wonder. You've got to be able to play all over the court, and Reese is like a Swiss Army knife. Need her to bang in the post? Done. Want her to run the fast break? She's already halfway down the court. Need a clutch defensive stop? She's got you covered. This versatility isn't just good for highlights, it's good for winning. And Reese is just getting started. She's entering the league with a chip on her shoulder the size of Mount Everest. She's hungry, she's driven, and she's got something to prove. Think about the great rookies in WNBA history, the ones who came in and immediately left their mark. Reese isn't just going to join that list. She's going to top it. She's not here to fit in, she's here to stand out. So when the 2024 season rolls around, keep your eyes peeled. You're not just going to see a rookie finding her feet, you're going to see a superstar in the making. You're going to see highlight reels that'll make your jaw drop. You're going to see a player who doesn't just live up to the hype, she exceeds it. The 2024 Rookie of the Year race, it's far from over. Angel Reese isn't just in the conversation, she's redefining it. As she continues to dominate on the boards and lock down opponents, the question isn't just if she'll win Rookie of the Year, but how she'll do it. And once that trophy is in her hands, well, that's when the real show begins. Because Rookie of the Year is just the beginning. The real question is, what record will she break next? Imagine this. Caitlin Clark, fresh off her historic college run, steps onto the court. The crowd roars, but in seconds, she's slammed to the floor. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Is this just tough love from seasoned pros? Or is the WNBA targeting its newest star? Today, we're diving into the league's roughest plays and how one rookie sensation might be getting more than her fair share of hard knocks. Caitlin Clark's transition to the pros, it's been anything but smooth. The WNBA has always been known for its physical style of play. It's part of what makes the game exciting. But lately, fans and analysts alike are wondering, has it gone too far? Let's rewind to the start of the 2024 season. Caitlin Clark, fresh off her record-breaking college career, steps onto the court for her pro debut. The anticipation is electric, but what happens next shocks everyone. Within the first quarter, Clark is knocked to the ground 3 times. Hard. We're talking bone-rattling hits that leave her visibly shaken. Is this just tough defense or something more? Physical play isn't new in women's basketball. Legends like Lisa Leslie and Cheryl Swoops faced their share of rough treatment. But the game has evolved, and so have the players. They're stronger, faster, and more skilled than ever before. But here's where things get alarming. In just 10 games, Clark's been fouled an average of 7.2 times per game, nearly double the league average. This isn't just rough play, it's an onslaught. Take the game against the Chicago Sky. Midway through the third quarter, Clark drives to the basket. As she goes up for the layup, Chennedy Carter crashes into her, shoulder-checking Clark and sending her hard to the floor. The foul wasn't even called initially, igniting controversy and raising questions about whether officials are turning a blind eye. Clark's stats tell the story. She's been whistled for 32 personal fouls this season, 4th most in the league, and involved in 78 total foul calls, the highest of any player. This isn't just about playing hard, it's about targeted aggression. In a recent game against the New York Liberty, Clark found herself in another precarious situation. After being hit on a screen, she signaled to her ear, clearly in discomfort. She briefly left the game, reportedly dealing with temporary hearing issues, before returning to the court. This incident, among others, has sparked a debate. Is Caitlin Clark being unfairly targeted and even bullied by veteran players who might resent her immense popularity and hype? Critics argue this is just part of the game. She needs to toughen up, they say. But is that fair? Or is Clark being singled out because of her star power? Let's take a look at her fellow rookie stars. While they've faced physical play, none have been body-checked, double-teamed, and left on the hardwood like Clark. Why the special treatment? Even the WNBA's response has been criticized as tepid. Commissioner Adam Silver downplayed the situation, dismissing the rough play as a welcome-to-the-league moment. But for many, this explanation isn't enough. The calls to protect Clark and other young stars from overly aggressive tactics that could lead to injuries are growing louder. It's not just about Clark. The overall level of physicality in the WNBA has been ramping up for years. Players are getting injured more frequently. Games are becoming more about brute force than skill and finesse. Take the recent matchup between the Las Vegas Aces and the Connecticut Sun. What should have been a showcase of elite talent turned into a slugfest. By the final buzzer, 3 players had left the game with injuries. So what's driving this trend? Some point to the increased stakes. With more money and media attention in women's basketball, the pressure to win has never been higher. Others argue it's a natural evolution of the sport as players get stronger and more athletic. But there's a fine line between tough competition and dangerous play, and right now that line is getting blurrier by the game. Let's circle back to Clark. Despite the rough treatment, she's still putting up impressive numbers. But at what cost? In a post-game interview, Clark admitted, "Sometimes it feels like I'm playing football out there." She acknowledges she'll take a few hard shots per game and tries not to let it bother her, accepting it as part of the rookie initiation process. But how long can this go on? This isn't just about one player, it's about the future of the league. If rising stars like Clark are constantly at risk, what message does this send to young talent? And what does it mean for the future of the WNBA, where fans come to witness skill, not skirmishes? Fans tune in to see amazing athletes perform at the highest level. They want to see Clark's incredible three-pointers, not watch her pick herself up off the floor time and time again. The treatment Clark has endured highlights a broader issue: the challenges young phenoms face when entering professional sports leagues. Veteran players, perhaps threatened by the new wave of talent, might resort to physicality to maintain their dominance. But should this be the norm? Let's consider the impact on the WNBA as a whole. If the league doesn't address these aggressive tactics, it risks alienating both current and future stars. The excitement of watching top-tier talent could be overshadowed by concerns for player safety. So, what's the solution? Some are calling for stricter enforcement of existing rules. Others want new regulations specifically targeting excessive physical play. There's even talk of implementing harsher penalties for flagrant fouls to deter overly aggressive behavior. The league is at a crossroads. As the WNBA continues to grow in popularity, it needs to decide what kind of game it wants to be. A showcase of skill and athleticism, or a physical battle where only the toughest survive? The debate around physicality in the WNBA isn't just heating up, it's boiling over. And Caitlin Clark? She's at the center of the storm. Will the league crack down, or will the hits keep coming? One thing's for sure, every time Clark takes the court, it's not just her shots we're watching, it's the battle she's fighting to play her game.